So welcome to my review of Yowamushi Pedal New Generation episode 12. This episode was pretty good in one big way. This revealed a lot of new characters. So we have the Masseuse guy first of all, Yoshi. I'm looking right now at the image here. And he looks like a freaking pervert, right? He's like a hentai, it's a new weirdo hentai. And I mean a hentai in the sense that it's like the weirdo, right? Not the hentai of like a sexual way, but the hentai of Frankie way, one piece of a weirdo. You know, and he has this like really slim, like fox eyes, kitsune eyes, and he's like, yes, I know what you want, Mr. Yoshi Senpai. You know, he looks really evil, you know, he looks sly, and cunning, and evil in that sense, right? And I'm guessing he gives everyone a teeth massage, and he can be like, yes, this guy has good muscle, we can use him and so on. So he probably can just throw them out of the team if they don't have, you know, after he massaged them and so on. And also he looks very, obviously, yaoi, boy lovish and bishonen, headband and everything. Yeah, it looks kind of weird. And then of course we saw Yowamushi and the guy with no face, the name, for Hakone as well. So we have seen pretty much the 3 new enemies for so-called episode, right? Because we know their team, I suppose, we said in the team in Drive, but we kind of know their team at least. And then of course know Hakone. We saw the 4. We have episode 8, right? Episode 8. It's really that's showing the Hakone team, right? But as I said back then, a month ago, I was like, well, okay, but they need to have 2 more guys because they're actually losing 4 senpais, right? They're losing 4 people. They're going out to college or whatever. So they're leaving high school. So they need 4 people. Whereas, for example, of course, in Soho, they only needed 3, right? Only, but yeah, they lost 3 in the last years there, where Hakone lost 4. So they need a lot more people. And that episode then established, generally one of the guys, right? Because he was at lots of money last year. I can't remember his name, but like, oh, yeah, they established him primarily. So those 2 other guys, they're probably first years then, probably the weaker, because the metronome guy, or he's a second year as well, like, because he's Teshima's old friend, right? So those are all, they're all 3 years now then, but they used to be 2 years. And also, I don't know, Manami, actually, one of the guys, of course, they are second years. Their captain, of course, and he's a third year, yeah. Like the metronome guy. But yeah, so those 2 guys probably first years, probably. They don't have to be, we didn't get much story about them at all, really, but we still saw them, and he seems to be extremely aggressive, he's like a beef jerk or something. Another guy seems to be the opposite end, being like super calm, probably very docile, being like, yeah, I can sleep, whatever, I don't really care about interviews, I'm just gonna race. So we kind of saw some of the characterization a lot. Actually, I think actually all 3 of them. First we have this, weirdo, hentai kind of sly character with Michoshi. So he established very quickly he is pretty similar to Michoshi. He's very cunning. He's probably pure evil, right? You can get this character actually quite well, actually, I mean it is. And then we get this angry, like, oh, I'm gonna race, I'm the best, everyone's the best here. That guy, and the other guys being like, whatever, just, So we can actually see all of them actually being quite characterized actually pretty quickly, actually, which is really good. So the half of the episode, or the last quarter or last third part of it, was really, really good. Just showing what's coming up, building up the story, like, building up the characters, building up the teams. And also, of course, we saw that Manami is gave Onoda a new water bottle, which is very interesting. It's very much like he has grown up a lot now. He's more mature now. That was a very, very good scene. Probably the most dramatic scene in this episode, more emotional in this episode, I would say. That's a very good scene, very nice scene. We recall each other and so on, and left today in Akiba. So that's a great scene, and they also show how he is probably a better person now. In general, also probably a better biker, right? So that was actually quite good. So yeah, the last part of the episode was really good. The problem I have with this episode, as I mentioned in my live reaction report, is that it just kind of ended the whole Onoda vs Isa thing. Because we had Onoda vs Isa in the last episode, and then I went back after I watched the live reaction. I went back and looked at like, did I miss an episode? It felt like I missed an episode. That's how much that didn't make sense to me. It was just like, okay, here now. It felt like you missed half an hour or just like 10-15 minutes of anime in between there. And this is not something I never seen anime before. But you see it in several other animes or TV shows or whatever, even movies sometimes, and it always feels kind of weird, right? When you say, how did you jump here suddenly? Like, what do you jump 5 days? Like, because the one thing that you jump time, right? So you jump from his place, that is one thing. But it feels like they're in the middle of a battle. It's like, and he jumped over that battle. So that was, that felt really weird. And the problem is that it's not like I can say that this episode was bad because of that. This episode wasn't really bad per se. The episode's pretty good actually, but the thing is that especially in the end was really good episode, very very good ending episode. But the problem is of course that you have a prediction. I mean, I even mentioned it like 1 or 2 minutes of my pre-talk before the live action, which sounds like he's probably gonna lose and blah blah. Yeah, I was even trying to make prediction of what's gonna happen based on the last episode. It's like suddenly we're here now, so suddenly he jumps like a week or something out of a battle. That's just very confusing. So I was like, yeah, it's very confusing. And if you said not this and this episode particularly then, but if you said it should be an episode in between, right? If you said this episode was good, no problem with this episode, but it skipped. If it skipped an episode in between, and also just I guess the episode is bad in the sense that not just because it's obviously the production shouldn't have this, but this episode never even mentioned the last battle. That really sucked this episode in that sense. Like they never even mentioned it. No one even said the reason like when we lost him in the mountain. It was like it never happened. So that was just really weird. I even went back before I did this review now and rewatched episode 11, and I was like, yeah, it's really okay. I guess it's not ending on a super dramatic point, but it's ending on during a battle, right? So it's like not a very important battles perhaps, but ending on a battle. It's like, yeah, they're gonna fight next week. It's like, oh, they're not. So, yeah. That was very weird. That's the biggest problem with the episode. That it felt like they just kind of skipped 5 minutes of whatever pre-battle between Onoda and Nisa. It was very weird. Still weird to me. I don't get it, honest. Know what to say, really. Otherwise, as I mentioned, the laptop was really good. But comedy-wise, this is a great episode. Everything is kind of fun. It's nervous, but it's still... It's a weird character, Isla, but he's nervous, but he's also very, very adamant of being the best. He's like, I'm the greatest. He's like overconfident, but also very nervous. That's a kind of weird character. And obviously, they kind of push him to be the ace. They let him win so he can be more confident with less nervousness, but he has very confident. It's kind of a weird character in a sense. And the humor was on point, I think, most of it. Where they were like, he was like, no, I just wanna win. You know, generally. And then it was in the end, there was like, I was thinking about my team, because they helped me win. But yeah. But then I said, fuck them, I wanna win. I was like, it doesn't matter, I just wanna win. And then, of course, before he even said that, we see Naruto and Izumaku, and they're like, we should nothing win. He's fucking won your first year. We should have won. We should have just pushed him off and beat him. And Nuno's like, yeah, let's be our friends, right? Then of course he's like, fuck my team, I won. It's like, my god. So yeah, the humor was pretty good there. And generally, the Teshima was like taunting them, being like, "Where we ruined the group. This will be easy," and so on. Like, "Oh, Teshima, evil genius." So that was pretty good, pretty on point. Oh yeah, and I love the scene where the angel wings behind Mashima, but Manami couldn't. Because there's an angel wings from his bicycle, right? So I was talking to Uno on the phone, and it was like angel wings behind him. So I was like, "Oh, angel wings, they're ready." Even he's just talking. It's like, oh no, there's extra props for a shot behind him. So they see some guys walking with anyways behind him. Like a nice detail. It's like a ridiculous, this is like a funny background detail here. It's really ridiculous. So that was really good. That was a great detail in the episode. That was really, really good. The race, however, was just obviously whatever. And it was a little in... The problem with the race is that Soku went from being the underdogs, right? They were like, oh, we lost last year because Fukushima cheated. That's pretty good, but the underdogs, they don't have a good team like the first random team. But now they're like, oh, we're the best. We can just go there and like beat them. Oh, you want a race ahead? Take it. Like, they were kind of like, yeah, it felt like they're losing a little of their spirit. Like, what makes them, you know, the typical like, main character or the main team, because they're like, we're the best. It's like, kind of like that, right? So. But also not being overly confident either. Like they're saying it without being, you know, like ridiculous. They're saying like, yeah, we're the best. We are the best. Like, and they actually are the best. It's kind of like, I don't know. It feels a little like you almost kind of want to see them lose. Right? You almost kind of want to see Soku lose. You could lose that, right? Because you need to have it to get into high. But I hope they're gonna lose actually in a coming race. You know, probably to like Hakon or something like that. But we have seen Noriko lose though, and still no. Still no like showing on how it's gonna after that. But I mean, in generally, it feels like I want to see them lose, so I can see that okay, they're actually gonna grow now because they are a little overconfident now. I mean, so Augie's new power up there, which is really weird actually, super fast. You need to see. But overall, yes, overall a pretty good episode. If I just ignore and blame myself for that, the beginning of it, because the beginning made no sense in the whole series, right? That's the problem with it. Like, it makes sense in the episode itself. There's no problem. They're talking about it is race now. Then they go back like one day and like, hey, Sai wants to be the ace. Let's be the ace. Like, that made perfect sense, but in itself, in a vacuum, it made perfect sense. But if you look at it as an episodic series, it made no sense at all. So that's a huge bummer in the episode. And the whole rest was kind of whatever, right? So especially this episode was very much carried by the end of it, of course, which is the half of it was all this revelation of new characters and so on. So that works. And the thing that also made it better in half of it, right? It's because after the kind of episodes ended and it skipped to seeing Yoshi's team and so on. After that, we kind of, at least I did when I was watching it, I was kind of forgetting about the weird start of it, right? Because the start of it was like one story. Now we're on the next story arc, or whatever you call it, like the next story part of it, and then made me kind of forget about the weird race in the mountain that never finished kind of thing. So that also kind of made it felt better because you kind of left it. So I guess. So overall, then I think I have to give the episode like a 7 out of 10 or something, or something like that, and probably actually feeling generous in doing that because that thing in the beginning really bothered me. And the race, I wanted more routes and so on. So it's lifting up a lot by the end of it. I actually kind of want to give a lower score because I think that also, as an anime in a whole, that's like a plot hole to me. Almost a plot hole, like a weird, just okay, we forgot about that episode, kind of right? We just cut the episode away there, so it feels really weird, unfortunately. But yeah, overall though, it was a good build-up episode. So I think the next episode, perhaps, or in the future, if we don't see these new characters, it's a guy, it's a different guy, the Mashoes guy, I would say, the most interesting guy. He should put out some weird tricks and so on, of course. So this is interesting to see. So a good build-up episode at least. Actually, it's a all build-up thing. And it's a thing I'm still confused about. I'm still like, is he gonna be built up because he's gonna lead the team or get key after the team? He's actually gonna be a good teammate because right now he's a horrible teammate. Because it's still kind of enforced that he won't be the teammate, if you ask me. That he won't be the team because he's a douchebag and he doesn't actually grow with the team and so on. So it's like, they might still kick him out, yeah. So I build up for my confusion about that, my questioning about that. So that was good. It's a very build episode, right? So it's building up for the future of the series. So I'm looking forward to that. So just subscribe and we can talk about that next week, guys. So yeah, see you guys and have a great day.